So guys, this is chapter 17. We've finished that, and now we're on to 18. I am a QHHT student, so I am looking for beings that would like to be hypnotized to go back into your previous lives, or also with cigarettes, drugs, and alcohol. And as I hone in and learn my skills, in exchange, I would help you with what you need. So it's a barter system, and I like to do that. So here's chapter 18. We've listened to 17. And I will start it from the first chapter, but this isn't the only platform I'm on. I also have my podcasts. And my
Chapter
YouTube.
18. The Spanx contains confidential information. Over the many years of being a QHHT practitioner, I have seen and experienced a lot, to where the sessions always keep me on my toes. But this one absolutely surprised me. Throughout writing this book, it has been a journey for me as I searched for answers about the Spanx. It was apparent that I had gotten too close to some confidential information in the session below. It is also important to know that Yana had never met Jen, nor knew about any of this information consciously. And yet, it is very similar to what Jen is saying in her sessions. Here is my shocking session with a woman named Yana. What do you become aware of? I'm just standing right in front of the Spanx, in front of its left bent knee. The sun is going down in the distance, and there is a warm breeze that I can feel here. And if you look down, can you see your feet? Yes, the sand is cool under my feet, and these are male feet. They're dark, and I look very Egyptian, or someone who is from this region. I have a white cloth wrapped around me. I look like I'm mid to late 30s or something. And are you standing by the Spanx? Is there anything that you notice that seems interesting about this? I'm standing very close to it. I'm almost staring right up to its face. And it's like it's communicating with me or something. I feel this very deep connection to it, almost as if it's connected to another realm, or something like that I'm very familiar with. Do you get a sense why you feel that way? I know that it has power. I sense and feel as if it communicates with me telepathically. If I put my right ear on the Spanx, I can speak to it. Tell me about that. Do you get a sense as to what you receive back from it? It reminds me of home. Oh, it's definitely connected to my home. I feel that the Spanx is like a conduit between me and my home in another realm. Do you remember your home? Vaguely. I know that it's in a different star system. And through the Spanx, I feel that I have this strong connection to home. I want to remember my home. Okay, let's leave that scene and move back in time to when you were in the place that you call home. Just going back in time to when you were home and be there now. Tell me what you became aware of. I was not prepared for what happened next. As I asked to move Yana to see her home, I was interrupted by what sounded like a different voice coming through her body. The voice had a different tone to it, almost methodical as it spoke. This is what it said. We have to interrupt this memory. We are the guardians of this information, and Yana is not allowed to see her home planet at this time. We are showing her a spaceship with her people on it instead. But we can't show her the home planet at this time. Why? It contains very confidential information. It is not for everyone to know. A lack of understanding is possible. What would happen if people had that information? there would be a possibility for confusion. It is not yet time for humans to know. I see. What is this information that's confidential about? Energy. And there is confidential information stored within the Spanx connected to that particular planet. Oh, I see. Why would that be confidential? It is not yet time for humans to know. Oh, why? Because timing is of the essence. A lot of planning goes into when we will release certain things. And some of the energy and information connected to Yana's home planet are too confidential to share at this time. When will it be known? Over the next couple of years, there will be events that arise that will show us that it is the appropriate time. We don't know yet when that time will be. Who am I talking to? We are the guardians of this information. What would happen if a person understood this confidential information? They could become confused, but more importantly, they could misuse this power. Oh, so if people knew this information, they could misuse this power? Certain people, yes. Oh, I see. Because it has something to do with energy? Yes. There are red crystals in connection to this, and so we can't tell you more. Okay, I completely understand that. And I don't want you to tell me what it is that you're not allowed to tell. But I'm just curious if there's anything about this information that you could share. We don't want this information to be intercepted and misused, as we're waiting for the right time to release this information. We are the guardians of this information. I understand, and I don't want any information to get out that shouldn't. But why couldn't Yana see her home? She said she was hoping to see it. Would it affect her in some way if she saw it? Because her home that you were about to take her to stores confidential information related to the Spanx. So we stepped in. However, we understand and greatly appreciate the work that you are doing. And we want to share with you the information that we are ready to release to humanity through you. We have been watching you and releasing bits of information to you that we do feel humanity can digest at this time. We would like to tell you more about the portal within the Spanx. Still a little confused about the experience. I felt chills that I had been watched. They appreciated me. I understood that there were things that they couldn't share, but I was still excited to receive more. Okay, thank you very much. What would you like to tell me? There is a portal within the Spanx that allows one to time travel. It can only be used by people who know how to use it. Otherwise, it can be dangerous. How do you use it? There are beings who use this portal to move in between different timelines.
You could use
They
it.
play
It
with
could be
time
in
that
your
way.
DNA coding.
Oh, I had a client's higher self say that beings have come and changed time occasionally, in a way where a majority of humans were unaware. Is this how they change time? Yes, they have done this occasionally. It is one of the ways that they secretly clean the Earth's oceans, a little at a time, without humans noticing. Is this what causes the Mandela effect? It is part of it. Tell me more. There are many probabilities for the Earth's trajectory, and the portal of the Spanx is used to explore different probabilities and future timelines. What is the purpose of that? Why explore these? To understand the best path forward. At one point, there was a probability that humans would destroy each other. That timeline, such as all timelines in this multidimensional reality, has played out. So there has been a great effort to change this timeline. Much effort to raise the vibration, much help. And now we are happy with our efforts. and the probabilities we see in the Sphinx. Are we moving on the best path forward? We're doing our very best to ensure that's the case. And this portal, it's used by beings to time travel. Is it used for any other reason? Some human researchers and scientists are already aware of this portal and are learning how to tap into this portal to understand it more. How do they do that? Physics. There are a few human scientists on Earth who are aware and are beginning to experiment with this energy through the use of physics. Is the energy beneficial to anyone or no? Yes, very much beneficial. It would be beneficial for time travel, traveling through space and time. This portal can make it much more accessible. For example, you would not need vehicles to travel between 2 points. Like on other planets, or no? Oh yes, absolutely. And on the home planet. Is there still a planet where that home planet was? Yes. When Yana was first looking at the scene, she noticed that she was a man in Egypt. Did he live on that home planet in a previous lifetime? Oh, yes. How was that life for him? We must be careful because there are files about the red crystals. The red crystals were used in experimental capacity on Earth during the time of Atlantis, and we can't let that happen again. It would be incredibly dangerous to Earth. Why was it used experimentally on Earth? It was usurped, and we are the guardians of this information, so we cannot let that happen again. Okay, thank you for protecting this information. We will bring back Yana and allow her to continue her session with you now. Okay, thank you. Okay, Yana, let's get back to that scene where you are a man in the desert, standing by the Sphinx. Be there now. What do you notice? There are people looking for me, but I fail to get a sense as to why. Why are people looking for you? There are people in power that realize that I have something that they wish to have. I have important knowledge from the stars. This knowledge comes from my lineage, my connection to the home planet, and to my people. What type of knowledge do you have? I can communicate with my home planet. I also know fully who I am. I remember why I'm here. We are all from the stars. We are all one. We are all part of one universal consciousness. But this information is sacred. I'm fully connected to a group called the Guardians. So you have this knowledge, and it comes from your lineage. And people want this knowledge? They do, mostly because they want to destroy anyone who has this knowledge. They do not want anyone to know this, because they want people to continue to be afraid and feel alone. In that way, they can easily be controlled by this group of people. Tell me more. One of the Pharaoh's men that worked for the Pharaoh spotted my gift through clairvoyance, and he recognized my knowledge and connection with the Sphinx. Tell me more. Do they know this information? Yes, they are very aware of some of it, but they don't know all of it. They know that the Sphinx is older than any of the pyramids, that it has been here since the beginning. But the Pharaoh's men don't know how it got here, or what type of people are linked with the Sphinx. Who are the people that are linked with the Sphinx? I'm being told by a loud voice that that information is classified. That was really strange. Okay, all right. But there are people who are linked with this? Yes, there are star people who are linked with the Sphinx. So what happens after they find out you have this knowledge? What happens next to you? They find me, tie me to a chair, and they torture me to death. They try to get the missing information that I have about the Sphinx, and I will not tell them. Why couldn't you tell them that information then? It is and was absolutely classified because the information has been misused by this same group of people in the past. Tell me more. This group has tried to use this information for pillaging, control, and murder. They perform a lot of dark rituals. They're in love with the darkness and the power most of all. They are a collective. They are from different planets. They unite through their common interests. If they knew more, it would give them more power. But I'm being told by a very loud voice right now that they don't have a footprint on this planet anymore. They are forbidden to come to Earth, so their connection to Earth is through distance control. What happened? Why are they forbidden to come here? They were here at one point during these times in Egypt, but these dark beings were kicked out. Tell me more about that. What happened? Agreements were made by different groups that were overseeing this human experiment. These groups form what some would call the Galactic Federation, and they became involved because these dark beings consistently broke agreements with Earth beings. How? What were they doing? They were controlling humans through mind control. The Earth is a free will planet, and these beings broke that agreement and had to leave. However, they still have ways that they are controlling from a distance. What are those ways? By manipulating people on the Earth to do their work for them. But their power is much more limited now. Why? Because they are not able to be here. There's only so much they can do, and there's only so much time where they can do this. And I'm aware of this as a baby in this life. I'm very aware of that I am not from Earth. Tell me about that. I am aware of my purpose at a very young age. I'm to be the eyes and ears of what is happening here on Earth. And I report this back to my home planet. I'm only going into this human life temporarily, and I know that I have a job to do here. Tell me about that. There are many groups who are currently working together to help Earth become free of this tyranny. Oh, I see. So they need people on the ground? They need those people on the Earth that subconsciously understand. Is there anything else about this that you could tell me? There are many beings on the Earth now who are helping and who are planting energetic seeds here. We bring energy from the home planet here. What happens when you bring the energy to Earth? Does this affect the Earth? Greatly. There's a reconfiguration of elements. It's hard to explain. So there are beings here who are bringing energy to the Earth, and that reconfigures something by them being here? Yes, it's changing the chemistry of Earth. When I grow up to be a teenager in that life in Egypt, I'm aware of this still. But I also become aware of my rage. Why? I hate this planet. I don't like it here. It's so awful. How do you spend your days there as a teenager? What do you remember? So much hard work, a lot of physical labor. And do you feel a lot of rage? Yes. Are you still aware of your mission at this point, or no? I am aware, but it makes me very angry. Why am I here? Why have they put me here in such an awful place? Do you ever communicate this with them? It's getting harder and harder because it's dense here on Earth. It's very dense, very, very dense. It is easy to forget on this planet because it's so dense. That's what makes it awful. It's a planet of forgetting. I feel like it's a planet of ignorance. Do you still communicate with your home planet? Do you tell them how you're so unhappy? Do they say anything to you? They asked me to remember why I'm here, why I have chosen to come here. Does that help you or no? It's difficult for me to remember why I chose to come here to Earth. And that's why I go to the Spanx often, because it reminds me of home and why I've come here. Why does the Spanx remind you of home exactly? The Spanx is connected to my home. It is connected to several homes, actually. It surpasses just one planet. It belongs to a collective, a lineage, and it cannot be corrupted. And I can feel its consciousness, and this is the only thing that makes me feel better. How would you describe this consciousness? It is pure, uncorruptible, and is connected to a very strong energy field that it sits in. Tell me more about this energy field. The energy field allows the Spanx to be on Earth and also beyond Earth at the same time. There's an energy within it that connects it to the cosmos through the energy portal. This portal will be beneficial in the new Earth. And when you say the new Earth, do you mean the new Earth on this planet or the other Earth planet that is being seeded now? While there's a different Earth that is being seeded now, I'm talking about the new Earth on this planet. Okay. Do you mean the information about entering the portal will be beneficial to humanity when Earth reaches its ascension? Yes. Okay. When do you see that happening? When those dark energies leave their control over this place? I would like to find the others like me. The others like me on Earth that have come for the same purpose. They are here on the same mission. We have different parts to play, different jobs to do. I'd like to know where the others are. I see that they are there, but in different parts of the world. We're all in different parts. Do you get a sense as to why you are alone and everyone else like you is spread out throughout the world? It is more efficient this way. It would not make sense for us to be in the same place at the same time. But I feel very lonely. I understand why we cannot be together, but I'm also upset because it makes me very lonely. I see that you wish you could have met somebody else like you. You know they're out there. It's very lonely for you. Yes, all I have are these telepathic communications with the ship. And when you're on Earth, it gets very lonely. Okay. Let's move ahead in time to after you have left that lifetime and body behind. Now that you're out of that life, what is the first thing that you notice? I'm on Earth again. You're on Earth again? Tell me about that. I hate this place. Do you know why you've come back? I'm beginning to forget more and more why I have come. My memories. They're going. They're starting to leave me. Why? Because it's too dense to retain these memories, and that is what happens here. I have to rely now on the ship to give me information, to help me remember, and to maintain that connection. Do you still communicate with your ship? Yes, all the time. Are you consciously aware of this? They mostly communicate with me during the nighttime when I sleep. That's when I can remember, but I'm not conscious. At night when you're sleeping, you can remember. That's when they can communicate with me uninterrupted. That's when they give me healing and collect the information that I have for them. and they allow me to visit home and to be there for a time. Do you remember visiting home? I remember glimpses. I remember the energy field on my planet. How would you describe it? I know that it restores my field, my hope, my strength, and my resolve. They take you to your home so that you can be restored, and you go back to this world? Yes. I don't remember this consciously, but it's very important for me to spend some hours there, visiting my home planet every day. So you access it at night when you're sleeping? Yes, at night mostly, but anytime my conscious mind falls asleep. Is there anything else about your planet that you notice through your glimpses of it? There is high frequency energy there that has many different purposes and uses. And I see many different colors of energy and frequency. I am being told that I am not allowed to see any more of this home planet at this time because the information is confidential. Yes, it's not time. But there are many, many things you can do on the home planet. There are many things you can do when you are not a human. What kind of things can you do? When you are in energy form, you can play and move all throughout the galaxy. You can perform many different tasks and bring different resources and energies and explore and distribute different things to different planets. I enjoy different planets for the different things that they offer. There's a lot of movement that can happen, and I really miss this movement so much. This will be what the new Earth will be like. Tell me about that. The voice just said that there will be this pure white energy. Some may see it as blue or with a bluish tint on the planet Earth. It is a very peaceful energy, very healing energy. Could I speak directly with his voice now? Yes, we are here. What will this be like for humans? When the Earth evolves into this new Earth, people will see more beauty in everything because the color of the energy is of a higher frequency. So, beauty is intensified. There's a lot of beauty on Earth. People are already tapping into this new Earth now. How do people tap into the new Earth now? Through their awareness, they can match the frequency of the new Earth. So it is quite possible for people to be able to be there now. Why is there a lot of chaos happening on the planet now? There were mistakes that were made in the past, and all those involved need to forgive themselves for the mistakes that were made in the beginning of the seeding of this planet this time around. They were very powerful energies that they did not know could be so destructive here. And there was a lot of suffering from the energy within the red crystals. The Earth beings were not ready to receive that energy. And we have all learned from these mistakes and the destructions of Lemuria and Atlantis because of the misused power of the red crystals. So we all need to let go of this. This was just an experience in this play of duality, where suffering exists, where darkness exists, where pain exists. Let go of those previous personalities and identities that you have experienced in other incarnations. They do not need to be held on to. Just like watching a movie, do you become the characters in the movie that you watch? Do you play those characters? No. You're simply watching a movie and identifying with a character for a certain amount of time. And once the movie is finished, the character is gone. It is not real. Once you begin to let go of these programs, these characters, these identities that you have made, Your natural state will be returned. Your real self will emerge, and you will ascend. What do people need to understand about the Sphinx? There are records within the Sphinx that will be of much greater importance to the human narrative in the not-so-far-off future, and we are already planning to release them to you then. But some of these records are highly confidential at this point in your history. And that's the problem. Some of these records can be accessed, but not all of them will be accessed for this book we want you to release. And therefore, we must release information to you in a way that is safe and not dangerous to the humans. Are you the same grouping of beings who have been helping me gather this information? This is a collective effort to share with you what is most important, and we will talk amongst ourselves, and we will let you know what we can release to you in your next session. That is all for now. Chapter 19, Earth's Progress.